IQ is about know-how. EQ is about know you, and I'm going to add something else, knowing people. Knowing people is the thing that screws so many men up, especially in these environments, because of the overemphasis on IQ and the rank misunderstanding of EQ. And you think one counts more than the other, EQ counts more than IQ. I want you to understand something. Get your pen and paper out. Because one thing, I'm teaching class today. Money making is a social activity. And success is shared. 48 laws of power. Don't build a fortress around yourself. You'll see many guys who have a high IQ, but they're a bunch of loners and they cannot work with other people. Same thing with women. This is where women, they got the girl code and everything else because women understand that people matter. When I taught my MIT, men in training, the first thing I would tell guys is, guys, life happens outside and life is about people. So I don't care if you have a high IQ. Tesla's technology was better than Edison's technology, but Edison understood people. And if you understand the IQ part of your life, but your day to day, if you're an A student at production, many guys who are A's at production are a D or F student at social life. I'm sorry, I've grown up with nerds and techies. And put them in a physics class or chemistry class or whatever, they do this. But as soon as they leave the classroom, they suck. They don't have people skills. So what do? They over-index on intelligence. And then they get mad because they cannot influence people to do what they want them to do. Oh, I'm going deep today. This is why companies are not ran by the most intelligent men on the planet. They're not run by the most intelligent people. They're run by the people with the best people skills. The difference between the CEO and you is not IQ, it's EQ. Women hate to be bored, and women love men who have a life that looks exciting. Men also like men whose lives look exciting. Ask yourself a question. Do people invite you to do anything? Do people invite you to go anywhere? When there's a house party or an event or whatever, is your name in the top? Are you on the must-have list? And if not, you got work to do. If you've ever thrown a party, you know there are people that do like, well, you got to invite so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And then there are people in the middle. And then there are people who you could care less if they show up. And then there are the people you don't even want to know you had a party. Sadly, far too many folks online today have those results. Shit. Turn off the music. Turn off the music. Turn off the music. Who's that outside? It's Shirley. Who told her about the party? Yo, ass, you told her about the party? She brought beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, pigs, fish, chicken. Damn. Many of y'all today, your soft skills, let me preface this and listen. There was an old running, coming from the Bible Belt, on Saturday morning, you used to have Mormons knocking on doors, Mormons, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But by far, and then you had the shout out to the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, they be out there selling the final call. But by far, the most gangster of them all was the Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses, they could shut a neighborhood down. People had outposts and smoke signals popping up. Here they come. What's happening? The Jehovah's Witnesses are on 17th. They're headed towards 23rd. But see, I got to see my grandmother, who was dipped in the blood, baptized at 4 years old, and I learned the Bible at her feet. So when the Jehovah's Witnesses used to come in, my grandmother would put on a pot of coffee and we bang with them. And I watched that woman have conversations with people in a biblical way to where the Jehovah's Witnesses learned that she had social skills and people skills. They go down the neighborhood, boop, 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 skip right on over our house and boop, 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 boop. I was like, man, that's pretty gangster, Granny. Granny had mad social skills, mad soft skills. So I'm like, you know what? Use that for good. The Jehovah's Witnesses made folks want to close their windows, close their blinds, and act like they weren't at home. Many people today have high IQ, but your social skills make the world and the people you want to work with you, deal with you, and relate to you want to treat you like you are that way. They want to close the blinds. And instead of understanding that your social skills suck, you get mad. And this is where I want to give it to the men. Gentlemen, you can have money. You can have possessions, you can have things, but if you want to have a long-term relationship with a woman of value, you're going to have social skills, proficiency. You don't have to be front stage lead singer, but you do need to be proficient. Nobody wants to be bored. Nobody wants to be bored, and no one wants to be around a 24/7 asshole. This is a matter of degrees, not extremes. And if you have a track record of not being able to work with people, people have a right to look at you like, what's going to happen? And this is something that can be learned. EQ. Social skills are a key to survival. So the man was saying why people complain about Pookie and Ray Ray, they overperform on their social skills. And here's the thing, as an image consultant, I don't necessarily care in my profession why, but I get it. Just like I was watching Alvin preach the other day, and they made a video talk about speaking white. And Preach was talking about how speaking French or speaking in a certain way would cause him conflict at all levels, at home, school, neighborhood, whatever. So he learned how to communicate in a way for survival. That is the core of human existence. We lived as nomads for the longest. But what made modern cities? Human beings deciding to sit down and collaborate and work together for a mutual good. And understand something too, gentlemen. Money making is a social activity and success is shared. You will only go so far without other people. There's a social side to success. Now, the question is, how successful do you want to become? I'm not talking about just in your professional life. Let's assume you're going to be as successful as you want to be in your professional life. I don't care about your professional life. I care the fact that your personal life sucks ass. You can tell people whose personal life sucks ass because their energy is off, their aura is off. They're always upset. They're always in conflict. They're upset. They're angry. They're frustrated. They look for conflict, and if there's no conflict, they'll make conflict because they're comfortable in conflict. Because conflict will suffice when your social skills suck. You can't build in conflict. You build in collaboration. Gentlemen, if you want to have a long-term relationship with a woman, you got to understand women are women and we are men. You can't try to get women to submit just because you're a man. Shout out to MTR. He'll tell you what I tell him. You don't win this argument on the facts. You win it on the optics. You win on the optics and the emotion. You can be right all day long, What about the sign language? Shame, guilt, insults, the need to be right. You can be right and still lose the freaking fight. A Pyrrhic victory. So guys, understand, many of us need to realize our soft skills suck. And you're going to have to invest time, effort, and money into improving your soft skills if you want to be successful. And if you find somebody else who tell you don't have to do that, do you want to exchange lives with them? You'll find plenty of people who are going to sit around and tell you, I don't know, you don't really talk about, man, whatever. Do you want to exchange lives with them? Remember, use your logic, gentlemen. Because see, the thing is, I'm talking to the men, and they've been talking to the men for years about becoming the best versions of themselves. So they have options. And when men are experts in when they are experts in their craft and proficient in social skills, they are a force to be reckoned with.